What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Samurai Radio Sports Network. And today you see it by the video and you see it by the title. It's talking about how we are mocking the Miami Dolphins draft. I have two different drafts from two different standpoints. The first one is from a draft board on the 8th of November, and the second one is a draft board from the 10th of November. As well as the first one is a draft board based on the simulators team needs that they feel, and the second one is fan voted. So we're looking at the first one right now, and the first one has us at number 14 in the first round, drafting edge rusher Derek Barnett out of Tennessee. I don't really feel like I need to say much. He had 10 sacks in the past 2 seasons, as well as having 20.5 tackles for loss his first year. I really like Derek Barnett. I was surprised that he fell to 14 in this mock, and I was quick to take him. And then another one that's pretty surprising is Brad Kaya. Now, a lot of you would sort of say that we don't need a quarterback here in the Miami Dolphins because Tannehill is producing. But at least for this mock draft, I beg to differ. I think that it's nice to get a homegrown talent and to have him sort of learn under Tannehill for one more year. Learn under Adam Gase for one more year, and then ship Tannehill out, and then bring Brad Kaya in his second year and have him be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And so I'm thinking Brad Kaya, round 2, pick 14. I don't think that's going to happen in real life. It's the same with Derek Barnett. I doubt he falls to us. But we do need an edge rusher on the defensive line, and we do sort of need a quarterback. And I'm thinking Brad Kaya is the deal. I was surprised he fell to us at 46, but I was happy with it at the same time. Now, the second one is a little bit tricky because I drafted Quincy Wilson. Now, a lot of people think of Quincy Wilson more as a safety than a corner, but here they had him listed as a corner, and I felt like that we could easily transfer him off to corner. I was surprised that he fell to 98, but I mean, I thought he'd be picked in the earlier of the third rounds, but I didn't think he was going to be picked. I thought he'd be picked at like around the 80s, but not the 98, certainly not around the 100th picks. But I do like the Quincy Wilson pick. I think that it's a great value at number 98, and I think we're getting a great quality corner. But it would be weird to see what you would do because you only have 2 safeties on the roster, and I do consider him more of a safety than a corner, even though he does play both hybriding in and out. But I did like that pick, and that's who I went with there. And then with another one, which is in the 5th round, we don't have a 4th round pick, pick 156. And when I saw that Ben Bauer was still there, I was very surprised. I know that a lot of people don't have him going too high in the early rounds, but I thought he would be picked at least late 3rd, early 4th. So when I saw a linebacker like Ben Bauer, who I consider a quality linebacker, there for the taking, because I was looking and I didn't know many people. I was using a website, a YouTube page that I'll link down in the description below, in case you guys want to scout any players who you have no clue of. It's not highlight videos, it's actual tape from games, and I enjoy it, and I was really using it a lot for this video. And I saw Ben Bauer's name, and it was a household name to me. I knew who his name was. I knew who he was, a linebacker at Clemson, and I picked him. And then 20 picks later, I was looking at corners. So I wanted to go corner once again, and I wanted to stick on the defensive side of the ball. I felt like one offensive pick was enough for us. I wanted to stay on defense. And I went with Tony Bridges out of Mississippi. I think it's either Mississippi or Mississippi State. I'm not too sure. But I did really like what I was watching out of him. I think he had a high motor. He did have some tackling issues, and there were a little bit of issues I saw in coverage in terms of zone. But I think he played really good press man, which is what I think Vance Joseph would like. And I really did enjoy his play, and I thought he played very well. Got the hiccups, excuse me. But I did like his play. I thought he played very well. I enjoyed watching his tape. I felt like he could help in the run game as well, more of a run stop style corner. But he did play some good press man. It would be interesting to see him have to transition to zone. He would definitely be a project type of guy because he doesn't have great zone coverage, and the Dolphins like to run a lot of zone. They don't like to run a lot of man. Even though they do run press zone, they don't like to run a lot of man coverage. You see it every now and then, but not every play. So we'll definitely have to see, and I did see him missing some tackles, making some miscues on certain zone coverages, but I did think he was a quality pick at 176. And then a guy who is a personal favorite of mine, which is Alex Anzalone. I really like Alex Anzalone. I think that he is a very quality player at linebacker, and you might ask yourself, okay, well, you just picked one linebacker in Ben Bauer. Why are you picking another one in Alex Anzalone? Now, the reason for that is because I would be transitioning both of these guys to more outside linebacker positions, because I feel like Koa Misi's career with the Dolphins is done, and I don't think the Dolphins are going to re-sign Jelani Jenkins. So what better way, even though these guys are going to be rookies, to transition them and start them off on outside linebacker positions? I don't think they'd be starting. Maybe one of them would, the other one wouldn't. But I do very much like Alex Anzalone. But I felt like picking him at 156 was too high, so I was hoping he fell to me around 7. But then when I saw that he was the best linebacker on the board at the time, I decided that I just had to take him, and I wasn't going to take a risk there. So then after that, we go into a guy once again that I didn't really know too well, and that's Danny O'Brien. And what I saw out of Danny O'Brien was I didn't see a lot of high-quality play out of him. I was very happy with what he was doing. I did think that he was a major project. I think he had a very high motor. I think he needs to just build more muscle. He definitely needs to gain a little bit of weight in terms of muscle. He was getting double-teamed a lot and was struggling to even barely get out of it. I know getting double-teamed by offensive linemen is very difficult, but he was, struggling very highly. And then he did have a couple plays. I saw he had tipped a pass, but he did also have a high motor, which is something that I thought was very, very valuable. And so I decided to pick him up in that draft. And so that is going to conclude it for the first mock draft. Now we go into the second one, and I'm going to try to do like 2 of these a week. So we go into the second one, and this one is probably more surprising to me than anything else, to be perfectly honest with you. And I think I had very much of a different strategy in this. So this one is one where I was using a board from November 10th. And the board from November 10th, somehow, some way, Jonathan Allen fell to me at pick 14. And I really like Jonathan Allen. I think the Dolphins need some D-line help after this year. And so I immediately jumped on the Jonathan Allen train. I thought it was a no-brainer pick. I think he's going to be great in the NFL. And it was a no-brainer to me, pick Jonathan Allen. And then when we go into pick 46, a guy who I believe is a first rounder, if not at least top 5 in the second round, is Jake Butt out of Michigan, tight end. And when I saw that Jake Butt was there, it was like Jake Butt and then a huge drop off in talent. So I immediately had to jump on that, and I was like, okay, we need tight end help. And the fact that Jake Butt fell was insane to me. Then once again, at 98, I picked Ben Bauer. He was projected a little lower, but I felt like it was going to be a quality pick, even though he was projected lower. Then at 156, round 5, pick 14, I decided to go with D'Angelo Brown, a defensive lineman out of Louisville. I really liked his motor, and he was getting off of blocks very quickly, which is something I really liked. And I thought that he was definitely going to be a quality pick at 156. Once again, I think he is a project, just like anybody in 5th round or below are projects. You have to work with them, and they have to have the motor to become better. But I did like him a lot. I felt like he had the motor. I think he was really good in run stopping. He could pass rush a little bit, but I feel like his pass rush need to get a little bit better. But I do think he was a project guy. And although we don't necessarily need defensive linemen, especially after drafting Jonathan Allen, who will either be an edge rusher or probably put him in the inside of defensive tackle. But really, the possibilities are endless when you draft Jonathan Allen, because then you have Jordan Phillips and Ndamukong Suh, and it's just, I think the possibilities would be endless at that point. And then you go on to my pick 176, round 5, pick 34, which is Caleb Peterson, guard out of North Carolina. Now, I feel like I needed to go offense with this pick, and I was looking at guard, and I really liked what I saw out of Caleb Peterson. I looked at about 5 guards. I didn't look at any tackles. I looked at 5 guards, and I really liked what I saw out of Caleb Peterson, and I feel like this could be a guy who could grow and become good within his 3rd year in the NFL. Definitely a project guy. The reason why I didn't pick a guard any earlier, especially on round 3, is because I feel like I get a quality guard towards the end of the draft. What I saw out of Caleb Peterson was he was very good at being able to protect against the run, and he was okay against the pass. Not amazing against the pass, but I saw a lot of good things for him against the run. Definitely think he needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of footwork. He needs to build up some strength as well, because there were times where he was getting beat on the pass. Not so much on the run, but more so on the pass, where he was getting beat, almost counted for, I think, 3 sacks against the quarterback. So he definitely needs some help in the pass rush perspective of it. He needs to be able to protect the pass. But I think he was very good at protecting the run. And then we go on, and once again, to Tony Bridges. I was going to draft him at that 176 spot, but I felt like he'd fall to me. And it's just one of the guys I really like. Just like in the past draft, there were 2 guys who I really liked, and that was Mackenzie Alexander and Paul Perkins and Carl Nassib. So 3 guys, excuse me. But those are 3 guys I really liked. And then we go to 232, which is Joey Ivy. Now, I was very tempted to draft him in the first one, but I felt like people would be like, oh, you're just drafting Florida players. You're just drafting people from Florida. But I was very tempted, and I feel like he's, once again, another project, but he's very good against the pass rush. I think he has great awareness, and I think he is very good at knowing where the ball is, basically. So he has really good awareness, and he has a very high motor, and he has a great pass rushing ability. And so I went with 3 D linemen basically in the draft. I think it's a bold move, but I feel like it's a move that could very much benefit the Dolphins, and I think it's something that would be a very interesting point of view. But I hope you guys did enjoy this. I'll be doing another 2 drafts next Friday, so every Friday will be 2 drafts, and I hope you did enjoy. I will see you guys next time, and as always, peace.